Carrying on from my previous video, we were talking about the Fraser Institute's report on numeracy scores based from the FSA tests between the year 2013 and 2017. And the overall findings was that numeracy scores have been slowly but steadily dropping. And again, the new curriculum redesign was introduced between those times. It was introduced in the year 2015. All of these factors combined are affecting students' confidence in themselves as math learners. As teachers, we owe it to our students to take what's working from either end of the math wars pendulum and patchwork a program formula that is proven to work for all learners, as within our curriculum, direct instruction has its place, and so does discovery and problem solving. So I split up my initiative into some goals, and the first was to create a structure or a guideline for making an effective primary math program. Next was to share and create lessons, units, and assessments that lead to valuable data on student ability. And lastly, to work collaboratively as a group of teachers to share best learner-centered practices in numeracy. Why does our school need to focus on this? Here's a quote that I pulled that comes to my mind every time I think of why we need to focus on this, and it is: insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. I was under the impression this was an Albert Einstein quote. The internet is in two different camps for this as well. So regardless, the point of the quote is what resonates with me. We, as a staff, we focus so much time on talking about how we don't have enough resources, how we're not getting enough PD from our department. And I completely agree with those perspectives, but each year we are saying the same thing and we are not experiencing any change. And I think this is something we still need to keep on. However, I think it's time we take matters into our own hands and be the leaders for ourselves. Our school community is 14% diverse learners, 9% Yukon First Nations, less than 1% English language learners, and less than 2% have unique characteristics. I often get frustrated by these statistics because I think a lot of onlookers in education would look in and have looked in and said, you have it easy. Many schools have numbers that are way more diverse, way more different abilities in other schools. However, this frustrates me to hear because we are not teaching robots. All of our learners are different. They all learn in different ways. They all thrive in different ways. And we need to meet those needs and differentiate for each student. We are not teaching robots. So we need to find a best practice that works for each class and go with that. So here are my steps involved in implementing the initiative. I'll just go over them in brief, and I used Harvard Education's 8-step data-wise improvement process to guide me. So in August and September, this is where we're at right now. I'm presenting you the pitch. I'm going to get a list of staff who are interested in participating in this PLC inquiry group. And then we're going to book a time each month to meet up. Prior to our first meeting, I'm going to send out a survey to teachers to self-assess how they are teaching math, and then we are going to look through some different ways that we can assess kids, and we are going to start setting aside assessments that we like to use in math as well. And in our first meeting, we are going to talk about the survey of math attitudes among staff. We are going to look at different assessments. We're going to discuss which ones we like best. And for the next meeting, we're going to bring in some completed assessments. We're going to practice doing a traditional lesson, a discovery-based lesson, and we're also going to bring in our RTI tiers in numeracy. Then we're going to start to just look at different assessments. How do kids do in a traditional-based lesson? How do kids do in a discovery-based lesson? We're going to compare data between the RTI tiers, and then we're going to kind of discuss thoughts and ideas. We are going to dissect the two different styles of teaching. We're going to look at the positives and negatives of both, and we're going to start to think of a formula that incorporates both traditional and discovery-based math, and in order to create stronger lessons. So is that 25% traditional math